Salutations, everybody. My name is Milky Shrapnel from the guys of Games. Oh, I still have a skill to put in. That's funny. Back with some more Diablo 2 Resurrected. And I did some whatchamacallit, Pindle skin and what's his face? I was farming them all. I farmed him a bunch. I still don't remember his name. What the hell? The guy from the from this place. That name right there. You see that name? That one. And I got up to level 35. And I still never used the Bind Demon Seal because I wanted to wait. Because I'm honestly curious how it works. But for now, I think I will just pop a point into, I guess, Blood Oath. Make my guys real tanky. I don't think that's going to be an issue because it sounds like if it's just grabbing a demon, then they're going to be real tanky too. But I did technically get a couple like charms along the way too. Like I found this nice Simmering Large charm, which is nice, and I used it to dump some other stuff. Technically, my Grand charm, I had one that was like 15 life, and I found one with 16 life, so I just threw away the 15 life one because I think it's funny to do that. Oh, we can start finding things of the mammoth. That's nice. It's good body armor to grab. In a pinch, as it were. Alright, so I guess, where do I even want to go to try this out? Because before we do anything, this is probably going to be a shorter episode, because I'm just going to, I'll do like Nihlathak's temple, and like maybe I'll find some of the waypoints from, like up to like, Glacial Trail, maybe in the Frozen Tundra, I don't know. Usually I do these in 2 parts, but I want to spend a little time figuring out how Bind Demon works. So let me see. How big is River of Flame? Where's the thing? Because I've heard people say that Hephaestus is really good to grab. Okay, it's right near there, so let's... Okay, well, first of all, let me bind this, I guess. So, let's see. So, Deathmark, Blood Boil, and Gorge, and then there's the Summon Goat Man, and then how about Bind Demon? There you go. Alright. Okie dokie, artichoke. God, it's terrible. Alright. Spawn near the City of the Dam. Let's go check things out over here, huh? Let's kill a couple guys quickly here. Oh no, it's some Urders. Oh no, wow. They're so scary. How quickly my guys become really strong, eh? Like, I've leveled up Blood Boil a few times, and now I'm like one-shotting these guys. Experience shrine, wow. How quaint. Alright, so Hephaestus is gonna be down here. Whoa, back off, back off, back off. Well, actually, I guess let's just... There you go, boom. Wow, first try, too. I think he has a Holy Fire aura. That, like, kills him, too. That's kind of crazy, actually. So, like, not only does that, like, let me have a super unique on my team, but also that effectively kills him? Can I, like... Yeah, I can see his stats, too, like this. He's Spectral Hit Aura enchanted, so he's doing a lot of damage, isn't he? It's kind of... That's kind of insane as a skill. Like, that is, like... You can argue what you will, but that is really cool as a skill. It actually kind of reminds me of some ideas I had, and also like were based on what's in game. Where in a way, it's basically a really strong revive, essentially, right? Because like Necromancer has his revive. I've always thought it'd be cool if a class like, say, the Paladin had like just one really strong revive, where you can revive one target, and that was it, basically, right? You couldn't do anything else. It was just one guy, but like it would be like really strong to kind of, and like probably you wouldn't have a duration on that, or like even if it was like a long one. I don't know. Kind of the funny thing with Revive is that even though it isn't like obvious, you can actually make it so that Revive doesn't have a duration by just setting the duration to 0. That just makes it work like that, which is kind of surprising. But let's go do Glacial Trail stuff first. So. Yeah, I can teleport him around and stuff. God damn, I'm kind of curious. I want to see what his damage is like. not bad. Certainly, if I had to guess, he's probably insanely tanky, given what he is, but, I wonder if you can do this. No, probably not. I was gonna say, I wonder if you can grab, like, Iswal or something. Because Iswal is basically immortal in normal difficulty, so... I mean, regardless, this guy is still basically immortal as far as I'm aware of. Like, that's really tanky. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I can basically just throw in front of anything I want, and he's just not going to take any damage. Especially since he's getting, like, a life bonus, I think. I assume that Blood Oath works on, like, binded demons, too. So he's got, like... If he's actually got quintuple life right now, then he is really immortal. He also has that Holy Fire R, which is kind of cool. That's doing some damage. It's not a lot, but it probably, like, aggroes stuff over to him. If it works anything like vanilla. I definitely dig this. Like, I will say, this is kind of off topic, but also kind of on topic. I will say, in regards to this expansion, I do think it's kind of lame that they've effectively segmented the game into a third category. Or I guess it'd probably be better to say segregated, because that is what's happening here. Where, like, now you've got Classic, you've got Lord of Destruction, and you've got Reign of the Warlock, right? Because Reign of the Warlock players can play with expansion players, which, you know... Reign of the Warlock prevents you from using the classic graphics, as you can see there, which means, like, most people are playing are not going to be able to even see that anymore, and, like, it's just weird, because it's like they sold the game with, like, that being a feature, and now they've effectively disabled that feature, you know what I mean? It's also, like, not a lot. Like, what does this update have? Other than, like, new stuff for the character they've made, it's really just the new character and, like, some quality of life stuff, like extra tabs and stuff. Right? But, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I forgot to set up no pickup while I'm at it. Like, for 25 bucks especially. Like, 25 bucks isn't, like, super expensive, especially with how crappy the dollar has become in a lot of places these days, but, like, it's still not nothing, you know. That's the chest spot, isn't it? Yeah. You know, since I'm here. Whoops. Like, for example, you know, just as an example, right? Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction back in the day was, I think, about, or at least for like 40 bucks. In most places, anyways. I mean, it was sold in stores, so some places might have discounted it for at slightly different prices, whatnot, right? But that was the general, I think, go-to price. And while, obviously, if you adjust that for, like, inflation and stuff, that's actually quite a bit more. It's, like, probably, like, triple the price. But, like, consider, you know, the difference still that Lord of Destruction was 2 new classes, plus a bunch of stuff for those classes, along with stuff like charms, rune words, runes to go in those rune words, obviously. Jewels, like just a bunch of new item types, also an entire new act. And like, just like, you know what I mean? Like, just a lot of stuff. And, like, yeah, it was a lot more expensive, but it was also, like, you know, I would say that it had triple the content for sure.
Can I help you?
Compared to this. Like, it is actually kind of crazy how much stuff Lord of Destruction shipped with it. Like, even ignoring things like, you know, what eventually came about as a result of patches. And, like, several new armor types and weapon types that aren't even necessarily related to the classes. Like, you know, circlets and stuff. Like, there's just a lot in this there was a lot in Lord of Destruction. And, like, I think it was definitely worth more than triple the price of, well, you know what I mean? It was definitely worth more than triple whatever this update is. Especially given that this update technically is taking away features, right? Because you, like I said, you can't use the classic graphics anymore. Which is kind of whack if you think about it. I don't know. Like, it's just something to think about. It's like, is it really worth it? I don't know. I paid for it because I want to support the game, basically. But like, the reality is that if it wasn't for Diablo 2, I probably wouldn't have paid $25. I would have waited for a sale if I really wanted this. Because it just doesn't really actually have all that much. Like, it's just quality of life stuff, which, like, frankly speaking, I don't think is worth paying for. Bloodboy is pretty strong, though. Look how much damage it just rips through. Alright, let's, can we find... I know I found the waypoint, but I do want to find out where the... I might as well go to the Frozen Tundra. At this point, if I'm here. Let's go find the waypoint here, and then we can end things off. Well, I'm not going to end things, I'm just going to go to Nihlathak. Oh no! You know, another thing I didn't think of, expanded the mercenaries like significantly. Like, remember that in Classic, mercenaries are just like per act and like don't really do that much. Like, they kind of suck for the most part. Other than, like, funny enough, the iron, like I say, the Iron Wolf is probably the best one because he's range and has some like AOE crowd control, which actually gives him some nice utility there. But the rest, like, the Act 1 Merc is okay, and then the Act 2 Merc mostly just tends to walk up to something and then die immediately. Like, the Act 2 Merc will die, like, basically the first unique, like, monster it sees, basically guaranteed. I always like to talk about it too, because they come with affixes that you might not even remember even existed in Classic. Like, Act 3 Mercs can spawn, like, they'll spawn as, like, obviously the, you know, fire, whatever, whichever element they are, but they can also spawn with, like, fast cast, which basically means they cast faster than normal ones. Like, Act 2 ones can come with poison resistant, stuff like that. Like, it's kind of funny how many little things there are. They, like, I would not remember that if I didn't, like, go back to, like, check on that. Jeez. A lot of guys here, considering I was like right over here too. Alright. Drink from the well. Drink your delicious water, demon. I could find another one. The funny thing is, I feel like in normal difficulty, grabbing a guy from previous act isn't as good as it could be because things scale a little faster. So like he's, you know, like late Act 4 strength, whereas these guys are more like Act 5 strength, which in normal difficulty is a difference. If it was like a different aura, maybe it'd be a little better. Like, that's kind of the funny like thing, is that if it was like a, you know, one of the other auras, like fanaticism or something, that would actually be pretty nice. So that would give us all like a speed boost. But I digress. It doesn't really matter. It's at this point it's mostly just like because it's cool, you know. Because this is cool. Man, there are so many of the little demons. Like, holy crap. Hey, a crystal sword. Is that 4 sockets? Ah, damn. If I see a sword with 4 sockets, I can make a Spirit Rune Word, which is obviously incredible. And like, I guess kind of on the topic still is like the fact that like, especially because like a lot of his skills aren't even that particularly interesting. Like, I mean, I guess that's not 100% true, but like, well, I'd say I'd say he has enough interesting stuff. Like, I was gonna say like, really, my only complaint is like levitation mastery is such a boring idea for a skill. Like, you basically gave him a master skill that just works on all weapons. It's like, what's the point of that? It does make me think about like things like the Goldmine. Like, it's pretty cool how robust. Like, this is what when I think of Diablo 2, I think like minions, like one of the like the major things I think of with this game is like unique with this game. Like, there are a lot of different like minion types in this game, and like you can do a lot with them. Like, especially when you look at like things like the expansion, like the original Resurrected expansion with like the Shadow Warrior and the Shadow Master. Like, those are cool ideas for skills. Like, even though most people end up using the Shadow Master, for example, like the Shadow Warrior is really interesting as a character, as like a minion, because it just uses the skills that are in your little skill spots here, right? That's really interesting for an idea, right? It literally mimics you, which is frankly kind of incredible compared to some of the other minions in this game. Like, a lot of them just aren't particularly, and to be fair, like, it's kind of unfortunate because like a lot of the minions in this game aren't very good. And like the reality is that the only reason they aren't very good is because they just kind of fell behind once again in patch 1.10. Like, mages were fine before, or I should say the skeleton magi were fine before suddenly every monster had like significantly higher life and resistances. And the mages basically didn't get their damage buffed at all. Compared to the skeleton warriors, at least, who actually did get a pretty nice buff in the 1.10 patch, where like you have less of them, but each of them is like way stronger than before, so like it's definitely worth it. And like, especially for like if you're doing like modding and stuff, you can do really cool things with minions, but just with just like modding. Like, you might not think it, but like there's actually like, for example, let's go over here and check out what this guy is. There's Eldritch. Yeah, there he is. I'll keep him. I'll keep Hephaestus, but it would be kind of cool to use. Eldritch isn't actually a demon. I guess he counts as an animal. So like, not even. I can't even use them. Didn't even think about that. They're like disfigured animals rather than like demons. Which I guess makes sense because I think they're like called like boar demons or something. Which does suggest that it's a demon, but you know what I mean. A little bit more match find is tempting. Like, obviously, like the assassins minions in particular are really great for modding because you can do a lot with them. Because they're mostly soft coded at least as of, you know, the current version of the game, right? So like, it's very easy to like give them new skills to cast, and like especially because like the default Shadow Master's AI doesn't work very well with characters that aren't the assassin. It can tend to like crash the game because it tries to read certain skills from the character you're playing as, and that doesn't always work if you're not an assassin. But whoever, I don't know when this was even implemented. Wow, another teleport staff. I don't know when this was implemented, but there's actually a special AI called, I think it's called like Shadow Master No Initial, where like basically it doesn't work like the normal one does, and instead it's basically entirely soft coded. It's not used anywhere in the actual game, but it exists for modding, and it's incredibly useful for modding. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was specifically implemented for modding. Like, it's actually crazy how useful it is, because it's basically a minion you can just give any skills. Basically, you can just give it whatever. Like, I've even done modding work with that stuff. Like, I have like, for example, I've done work on, say, just like on the druid, where I've always felt the druid summoning is a little redundant because he has two different types of wolves, and they're both. One of the wolves is basically just better than the other. And so what I did was I made it so that the dire wolves are the first wolf, and then I basically made it like a werewolf summon for his second summon. Die, Pindle's skin. And I basically made it like a werewolf that basically it's pretty basic in terms, like it works similar to the bear and that it just has 2 attacks it uses. But I made it so that it can, when it's like not next to an enemy, it can like charge at them. You know, it has like a werewolf charge. Originally I had to do damage, but eventually I think I originally fucked it up and it didn't do damage, and then I decided to, after like fixing it, I was like, you know, I like it better as like just like a run skill. Just quickly runs to a guy to smack him. But regardless, it's really nice to be able to just do minion stuff in this game, because like to me it's like one of the most like iconic parts of this game is just being able to have like almost every character class has some sort of minion. Like I think the only one that doesn't is Barbarian and Paladin, right? The only ones that don't. Because, oh no, I guess the Sorceress too. I guess in vanilla, only the Necromancer and the Amazon actually had minions, but like even though that's the case, like it doesn't make them any less like notable. It's kind of a shame too that the Necromancer's minions are mostly pretty bad now, and once again, like I said, it's because of patch 1.10. Well, that's not 100% true. The golems have always been kind of mediocre. I think in older patches, I forget when, but the clay golem didn't even always slow targets. I don't remember when that was added in, but that wasn't always a thing either. And like back then, it was literally just a basic. It was basically just your basic golem, which meant it was even worse than like it usually is, because like it couldn't even do the one thing that clay golems are good at. Like golems in general just suffer from like mostly because like their damage is just stupid low. And like even if you like try to make them good, that doesn't happen. With all the synergies in the world, they do nothing basically. They do pathetic damage. Like the golems are not to do damage. They are there to be a distraction, and like that's what they do in vanilla basically. They're there to be a distraction and tank hits. And it's kind of a shame because like each of them has like an interesting like mechanic behind them. Like the fire golem has his aura, the iron golem like has thorns damage. Hey, finally! Not only is this better, but it also gives me some strength. That's nice. It's about time. Like, geez, I've had this 10% fire resist thing the whole bloody run. Let's see here. I should definitely keep an eye out for like if I get lucky. I don't remember when you can start running into 4-socketed swords, because I know that. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, is it even possible to get a 4-socketed sword in normal difficulty? At least not without using Larzik, because I think technically, right? Because the game like what's the term? Oh, I was thinking of this is the word I was thinking of the other day, and I've already forgotten it again. It's like restricts, suppress. It suppresses. That's the word. It suppresses 4-socket swords, I believe, until you get to nightmare difficulty. You can actually get swords that can have 4 sockets in normal difficulty, but you have to use like a cube. Like you have to use like one of the recipes or like Larzik. I believe that's how that works. Off the top of my head, because like naturally they're like suppressed and won't spawn in with 4 sockets until nightmare. They'll like basically just go down to 3 sockets. I think that's how that works. Something like that. Yeah, he's actually Festo actually definitely does do some good damage because that's how much damage he's doing without the Merc near him. The Merc is still the big damage dealer, but like Festo's not bad. I do like his hammer. I'm gonna assume that even though he's using hammer, he probably doesn't get any bonus damage to undead because why would that exist? Would be funny if that was somehow implemented though. That'd be crazy. Alright, where is that staircase? I never remember the layout of the first floor. I always get stuck. But, I mean, in general, you just want to check the edges, so let's just run around the edges for a little while. There we go. Nice. Wham-balam, man. Usually the tentacle dudes are so scary, but like I killed them in like one hit with my setup, so like they're definitely way less scary than they could be. Get him. Alright, let's go, I guess, let's go down here. See if the waypoint's here. Doesn't look like the waypoint's here. Doesn't look like that's the setup for it, yeah. I'll run down here quickly just to see if the exit is down there, I guess. It is actually, okay. So I think from here, if it's this one, is it to, I think it's like to the upper area, right? Boom, look how much damage. It just like smash them, because it's just a nice AoE, like it's basically corpse explosion, right? So it does do the big damo, as it were. Alright, let's just teleport. It's kind of funny I can teleport my guys around too with me if I don't want to just use this skill. Not that there's really a reason to waste that, but hey, it's an option. Alright, where's the waypoint? Is it... Yeah. I didn't remember. I remember that if the waypoint is to the side, or like if the entrance is to like the top left, then like the waypoint's also at the top. The waypoint's almost, it's either at the top, I think, or it's like in that little like square near the entrance. All right. I guess let's deposit my runes. Boom. Alright, Nihlathak, it's time. It's normal difficulty, so you're not going to kill me too hard. As far as the Necromancer's minions go, like, the mages are actually, like, fine. Like, they do good damage, and they're physical, so they're easy to work with. It's mostly just all the other ones that are unfortunately just not very good. Like, the mages, like I said, they suffer, like, their damage, like, the mages are easy to fix, it's literally just their damage is just too low. Like... Their damage gets boosted by both putting points into them and by Skeleton Master, and their damage is still way too low. Because when you put points into Skeleton Mage, their damage actually only gets boosted every other level because their missile, it's based on the missile they fire, right? They fire a missile that does damage, and the level of that missile only goes up every other level of Skeleton Mage. It goes up every level you put into Skeleton Master, though, is kind of the catch with that. So the idea is that, I mean, I guess that's the idea, although I think I've always thought it's silly that that's the way it works, because it means that Skeleton Master is just better to put points into for the Skeleton Mages, because, like, you're getting more damage, and, like, they're basically getting more life, too. Like, they get about the same amount of life, but you're also giving life to your other summons, so it's like, why wouldn't you just put into Skeleton Mastery at that point, then? It's weird to me that that's the way they would do that. Like, I would either make it so putting points in Skeleton Mage also boosts every level, or just swap the two. But, like, either way, the main thing you have to do is you need to make it so that... let's improve my chance to block a little. Like, why not? The main thing you need to do is just boost their damage. Like, that's just how it goes. They need to do more damage. Like, that sounds, like, obvious to say, but, like, yeah, no. Like, they need to do more damage, man. This gets points from Blood Oath and Engorge. Like, honestly, my demons are doing pretty good damage, and like Engorge is already healing a lot. It does boost their attack speed and like give them some other stuff. Like, I'm just gonna keep putting points to Blood Boil for now. I would say I know which way is Nihlathak based on the thing on the wall, but I don't actually know what it looks like in remastered graphics, so I have no idea. So I'm gonna look around for the... Like, let's see here. Is it this one? Does it even look different in Resurrected? I can't tell. Well, I guess we'll just pick away then at that point then. Hey, Defilers, get smashed. Yeah. I don't know, because the quest will pop up, but who knows how long it'll take for that to pop up. There we go, alright, that is Nihlathak, okay. I have no idea how that one looked differently, but you know, there you go. Alright, get him! Get him, Hephaestus! You're getting killed by a demon, Nihlathak. How's that feel? I have no idea what you just said because you say it way too soon. Like I always say, man. Can I just say, by the way, in the classic graphics for Nihlathak dying is like a really nice looking sprite animation. Like they show like his skin coming off and like he turns into a skeleton and they get like a hole pops up underneath him and sucks him down. Like it looks really nice. Not that I can show you because I can't show you classic graphics anymore, you stupid. I don't know. This update has some nice things, but it's like, man, like, actually feels bizarre to me. Like I understand that they didn't want to have to create a new tile set for, or like, you know what I mean? Like they didn't want to have to create a new sprite, like I guess a sprite sheet for the new character, but like, I don't know. Like, why not? At that point, like, why not? That if they had done that, then I would say it's worth $25, 100%, because that is no easy feat, given that the game's been out for how long. And like, I'm not sure if they can even do anything in classic graphics anymore. I mean, I would assume they can, but I don't know. Like, if they had done everything else that they'd done and also had the classic, like, made graphics for the old game, and, you know, put that in, and, like, that was all part of the package instead of being, like, this separate release now, that would have been worth $25. That's all I'm saying. Because, like, I just don't get why... Like, I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because like they could have done that, but it's just kind of disappointing that they didn't. It's been like half an hour. I don't know. Should I keep going? It's 11 o'clock though. I have work in like a couple hours, so like I don't know. I should probably get ready for that. As much as I would like to, I know I usually do these in 2 parts, but I think this time we're gonna cut it and we're gonna make it like a little longer. You know, each part will be a little shorter, but I'll have 3 parts, I guess. And it will give me an opportunity to maybe look for a good recipient for another bind demon. Like, what are some super... Like, is there any super uniques that spawn near a waypoint axe? I guess I could look for another Hephaestus or something, or like, I don't know. I guess, thinking about it, you could probably grab the the Travancore guys, and those spawn like Hydras for you and stuff. I don't think their Hydras do very much damage, but like it's kind of fun. I don't know, cause Bindleskin's undead, so he doesn't count. He'd be super slow anyway, so I wouldn't really want to. Like, you don't necessarily need to use a fast guy, but like someone like, you know, a zombie that's super slow kind of sucks. Huh, I wonder if you can use Shank. Does super uniques count? Because like, yeah, you can do Hephaestus, but that's because Hephaestus technically isn't like important, you know what I mean? Killing him just gets you the hammer, which like technically you can get the hammer and then leave and come back. And he'll just be alive. Whereas with Shank, it's like killing Shank is literally what causes the quest to complete, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll take the time to make a lore helm if I can. I don't know. Because I'm mostly on the way there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, that'll be it for this episode. See you guys later.